So I've been daily driving the GT. I've been enjoying this car a lot. It's really nice to walk out to it and see it there. I love the bullet wheels. I think it's a fantastic car. I love the way that it looks in the sunlight too. My wife drives it a lot too because it's automatic, so she's been enjoying it. And I took the yellow Mach 1 around town with my son, and we went to a railroad tour, which was kind of cool. And so this is put on by a local group of model train owners, and they open up their homes at a certain time of year. Usually it's about this time of year, and they let people come to their house and check out their train set, whether it's inside their house, like in the living room, or in a garage or a backyard if it's an outdoor train. And so this is a really nice neighborhood to go to. It's a 55 and older community, and I used to come here with my friend when we would mobile detail for his business, and so I enjoyed coming here and walking around. It's always clean and nice, always very quiet too, and so it's a wonderful place to come and enjoy. It's always so quiet out here and perfect. Nice streets, nice homes. And so that was an example of one of the outside trains. Pretty cool. And a lot of friendly people. One of the couples was so nice. They had a bunch of cookies on a plate ready for anyone who came to visit. This is a new grocery store, and it's a chain of grocery stores that have become a little more popular around here. It's been around my whole life in this town, but they've built some more of these really big new ones, and this is out in that community area. So it's really nice to come here and see a nice new building, new parking lots. Went inside and looked at the cars and the toys with my son. It's always fun to do that. And they had a nice rack of bake sale items, which is stuff that's like day-old cookies and donuts and stuff, and I always browse through there, and so we got some treats. You can see the golf carts here. It's kind of funny because it's in a golf cart community, and so they have parking for the golf carts because people will just drive their golf carts here. But a beautiful day, fun to get some cookies and enjoy. And so we stopped and got something to eat and a drink, and it was fun to just kind of go out to dinner and hang out, just me and one of my sons, and enjoy. So the next day it was really nice, and I wanted to take the competition orange '04 Cobra out for a drive. The car really does sit a lot, and I really enjoy having the car. But it's just so nice to see a stock example has exhaust on it and a short shifter. I've been making the full history of this car. You may have seen the videos, but it's just such a cool car that I want to take it out sometimes. It gives me an urge to want to drive it now, even more than usual. What a beautiful bright day and a beautiful bright car. It just puts a smile on my face every time I see it. And it is so nice out here in the sunlight. Competition orange is a color you really need to experience in person to appreciate it. So I was talking with my cousin who has the red Mach 1, and he's working at a dealership right now, and the dealership specializes in BMWs. And I told him that there's a BMW 3 Series sitting in a field here in my neighborhood, and it's been for sale for a long time. So he asked me to go get some information. You'll see it here in the background, that red one right there. So I went for a drive to do that. So it's kind of fun to have the car outside for a little bit and get to walk around it and see it in a different light than just in the garage. But it's nice to have the place to keep it in here. So I've been just taking care of the cars and enjoying time with these cars now, especially, like I said, I'm making the story about this orange one, so that's kind of a big deal right now. I'm spending a lot of time putting that together. Took the silver GT on a quick run, to get something to eat, and then the next morning I got up early and I wanted to check up on the rear end of my Cobra. The Cobra clunk felt a little bit more clunky than usual, and maybe it's just me, but I got under here and I noticed that the drive shaft bolts were just coming loose a little bit, and so I took each of them out and I put Loctite on them and just made sure to tighten them down a lot stronger than I had been before. I usually sit on the ground, put my foot on the wrench and snug those down pretty tight. And so it was a beautiful morning, and so I wanted to go for a drive and take the car out. Sometimes I feel guilty I don't drive it enough. Sometimes I'm happy to just look at it in the garage and enjoy seeing it like this. It's like a car show. Look how beautiful the shine is on this car. It's been very well taken care of. I upkeep it pretty well too. But anyway, I just wanted to go drive it around. I felt like it would be a good time to do it. The weather's been nice and cool around here, so I feel better about driving it around with cooler intake air temperatures than I do when it's 110. So it's not too bad now. So with the temperatures dropping, the tire pressure usually needs to be inflated a little bit. So I went and put a little bit of air in the tires, just make sure everything's good with that. And then I went and met up with my friend who has the new 2020 GT 350 that he just bought. And it was fun to go hang out with him and talk and have breakfast and go for a little walk. He always comes here every morning, and so we went for a walk, and it's fun to see the cars together, and especially since he's excited about his new Shelby. So I rarely leave the Cobras or the Mach 1 in the parking lot, but I did find a nice place over here away from everything, and I went and did some shopping that I needed to do. And just walking out to the car is always so cool. It's such a beautiful car. You just do not see these, especially in this town, at least. just never see a Cobra like this sitting around, so really nice. And I decided I'd go ahead and go to lunch and try out a deal they had in town. It was fun to take the Cobra around for the day. So my friend had sent me these pictures when he was in Michigan of a 96 Mustang Cobra. He's the one that has that silver Shelby we were just looking at. And looking at the car from the outside, you can tell by the wheels it's either a 96 or 7 because 98 had specific wheels. But for me, if you look very closely, the seat belt loops are from a 96. They're not a complete loop, they're like a cup. And so the 96s had those. My 97 Mustang was actually a very late 96 and it still had those. So it's possible this is a very, very early 97, but I think it was a 96.
Oh, yes.
Hey guys, welcome to the Mustang room.
The mother's Mustang nursing room.
That was me just screwing around with my brother. We were at the Ford dealership and they had this little mother's lounge room with Mustang stuff all over it. Thought that was pretty cool. Then I went to a car show and across the street was this 94, 95 Mustang GT, canary yellow, really awesome car. I've seen the car around town a little bit, but it's cool to see where it lives. And then my family and I went to Snow Canyon Park and they had a huge American flag hanging through the canyon there. And it was just so cool to see it throughout the park. No matter where we went, we could see it floating there, and it even did a backflip over itself with the wind current. But see, you can see it just glowing in the sun. That's really awesome. Here's a Z06.
Yeah, I was waiting to do that.
So he looked like he was enjoying himself. That was really nice to see. It's my grandma and my aunt down there. We all went hiking with the family. And if you could hear my grandma, she said, "What the heck is that?" And my aunt said, "That was a Corvette." And a cool story about my aunt is that she turned 16 in 1963 and her dad had a split window 63 Corvette and that's what she learned to drive stick shift in. So she was telling me about that. So I was proud of her for knowing that that was a Corvette that drove by when my grandma, if you heard her, she said, "What the heck is that?" But this is a 64, 65, 66 coupe. And my aunt actually had a 65 fastback as well. And she actually had a head-on collision in it by a drunk driver in another Mustang. Speaking of Mustang, found some Mustang batteries. So anyway, kind of an interesting story about her, but driving the GT around, daily driving it, having fun. Found some Hot Wheels, some Boss 302s, couldn't leave those behind, and some cookies. Yeah, I'm a cookie monster, I guess. Oh, there's a funny meme that said, when you tell her you're a monster, and then it shows cookies and you say, "Actually, I'm a cookie monster." So I got some donuts as well, and I took the silver GT on a nice drive around the lake. You've probably seen in my videos, I love driving here. It's my favorite place to go. The landscape is so diverse. It's so beautiful. The mountain ranges change, so many colors, beautiful desert, beautiful new roads. I love the shine on the new asphalt here. It's just a pleasure to drive here. I love doing it, and the silver GT was a great car to take today. I had to go to the DMV and register some cars, and so when I do that, it's near this area of a drive, so I always take the scenic route home and use it as an excuse to drive around, and it's just beautiful out here. I just love it. I work out this way as well, so I had just done it right after work, but what a beautiful time. Fun time to be driving. There's a lake there. You can just barely see it. So here we come up on just this awesome desert terrain, and I just love driving here. And so I thought I'd take this exit real quick and pull off the highway and stand on the bridge and take some pictures. I've come here in my red 03 Cobra with my brother on a nice morning drive, but it's been a while since I got off here because there's really no reason to. It goes to a very rural area, and so not much need. Man, look at that silver metallic. It looks so good on this car. Very beautiful. And so I thought, hey, I'll get out and take a picture, a little video here. And man, look how good that looks. Love that new road. Such a nice highway to come cruise around on. very blessed to have this area to live in. I love the desert. It's dry most of the year round. It's great for driving. There's no humidity, so the cars don't rust. No salt or anything on the roads. Here's the beautiful lake. I love driving around here. I know you've seen this a lot if you've watched the videos of my Mach 1s driving around the lake recently, and my Cobras. We go on car cruises out here and have a really good time. So you can see it's quite the landscape. There's a lot of people out here who drive side-by-sides, and they come to the lake and just do a lot of power sports out in this area. So you can see out here people camp and bring their camp trailers and stuff. And it's just a really awesome place to be. They just redid this road again. It was the same area. It went through here. It was a nice newer road, but they tore it all up and they made it wider, and they just repaved all of this again. So I love that shine. And this time of year, it's getting cooler, so not too hot. It's nice to be out here, and you can just enjoy driving around and cruising. Well, a lot of people are putting their cars away for the winter. I'm out here enjoying mine, so I'm very grateful for that. And it's just the best view. This is probably my favorite view down here, so I really like it. So it's fun to be here with the Mustang GT. Love this car. And no matter which car I take here, it's a great time. So it's fun to just cruise around and enjoy a nice morning. So I've mentioned I've been making the story of my Competition Orange 2004 Mustang Cobra, and I have pictures of it out here by the lake, and all of the stories I've done about all my cars have pictures out here. And I have a friend with a white 99 Cobra that lives just out this way as well, and I actually just went to his house and picked up a set of lowering springs for my Cobra. I'm going to take the rear coilovers off because I've heard that they can mess up the wheelhouses and split the body and stuff if you don't have the brace across the back. But love this cutout through here in the canyon. So I'm gonna get home, and then the next morning I needed to take my son to school, so I decided to take the Cobra. So I dropped him off, and I had my other son with me as well, who does homeschool at home with my wife. And so I took him and took the Cobra out just to go for a nice drive, since we had to take my son to school anyway. You can see there's a leaf that fell on the Cobra. A leaf fell on it. Oh darn. That's what happens when it's out in the elements. So that was a safe enough parking spot, so we walked across the street to get something, because I wanted to surprise my wife and bring her home Durango's, which is her favorite Mexican food, but it wasn't open yet, so we went for a walk, and my son and I went and ate across the street, and then came back to the Cobra, and it was a nice place to leave it parked. Get this leaf off of here very gently. But yeah, man, love driving this around and just seeing it parked in the parking lot. You know, as long as it's safe, I'm happy to take it around. We were in the mood, so we went and got some ice cream as well. It sounded really good, so cool to have the Cobra here, big open parking lot. Smooth new road, just the priest. got some rain the next few days, so it was nice to have the silver GT to drive around, and it's just an awesome car to take everywhere as a daily driver. And went and paid the property taxes for the house. Always love doing that, right? But anyway, rain, errands, driving around, but always fun to walk out and see that beautiful silver GT with the bullet wheels. I really like that look a lot, and the car is just doing a great job for that. And this is a really fun place to go. This is near the neighborhood I grew up in, so I always like coming here. And then I took the yellow Mach 1 and went out and ran some errands. I picked up a new set of AirPods, and I went and picked them up. And so it was fun to drive the Mach 1 around and do that. Saw this 350Z, and it's pretty hammered. A lot of these are getting turned into drift cars. And some people take care of them, but a lot of them you see kind of banged up. There's an EcoBoost Mustang here. And kept the yellow Mach 1 back in the corner of the parking lot. It was a nice place to park it, so I was happy to walk out to it. It always looks really good and bright and in great condition. Then I went for a ride in my brother's yellow Terminator. Thanksgiving, beautiful day, people riding bikes and cobras. Stopped for gas here, where you can get the ethanol clear that doesn't have any ethanol in it. It's 91 octane, that's all you get in Utah. A beautiful car. This one is always a pleasure to go ride around in. Mint condition. This thing's just absolutely gorgeous. One of the nicest Terminators out there you'll ever see, and it's always fun to go for a drive in it. So we'll call each other and say, hey, I'm gonna go for a drive, you want to jump in? Say yeah. There's amber tail lights and everything. Now back in the yellow Mach 1 with the shaker hood. Going for a nice drive. Beautiful day. Mustang's looking good in the driveway and in the garage. Got the Mach 1 back in here. And then I was going to take it out later that evening as well and go for another drive. So there's the Cobras in there with the clear plastic covers on them. So had to get a couple gallons of gas here. And so beautiful gas station lights. Car looking fantastic. It's fun to walk around and see it. Looks great here. I'm just very proud to have it and enjoy driving it around. Although this one has Magna packs welded in, it does have the stock exhaust tips that are rolled like the Bullet, but I guess the Mach 1's had shinier, more polished tips. It has the wide 315 tires. Took the silver GT and we went around to a few places. Leaves are all on the ground, kind of fun to see. The car looks great here. It really brings back a lot of memories of what it was like when I saw these cars when they were new, and it was in the fall, and then you'd see all the leaves on the ground, so that's always fun. This part of town has a lot of leaves. Out where I am doesn't really have a lot of this, so it's kind of fun to come over here. It's real close to where I went to high school. But it's awesome to have this GT to drive around and park it in the leaves or drive it in the weather. I wouldn't really want to be driving my Cobra around like that and leaving at places like here. We went out to dinner and stuff. And the next morning I took the yellow Mach 1 again, went to go drop off some library books. I was happy that this sidewalk had the big down cut in it here so that I didn't hit the chin spoiler on there. I did go a little bit farther than I thought I did, and at least the sidewalk was accommodating for that. And so we'll go for a drive off here. The update for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. There's a GT in the parking lot at the church. Stay tuned for more Mustang content.